Hello and welcome back to the Gamer's Tale. Tonight we'll be resuming the adventures of the Forging the Onyx campaign. Last week, the party, Yoan began making the specialized rings of protection that he had planned the previous session. And they made their way to the middle of the desert to find a particular individual who they were assigned to by Durndon, I believe it was his name, to find out if he was still alive and obtain proof of life. In the process, this individual was poisoned after they returned with the proof letter of the councilman's son's life. Additionally, the shady businessman Thaddeus Sweet Tea also managed to make his way onto the scene after they met quite an interesting individual by the name of Holesborn, who used them as an intermediary observer to strike a deal with Thaddeus Sweet Tea due to going about their business of underworld dealings in exchange for arranging a meeting with the assassin known only as Miss Jackson. In this process, they were picked up by Sir Algrim, who had finally arrived in the Oasis, and they are now escorted into the throne room of the Dervish King himself, Ariok, King of Olton, the East Kingdom. And we will pick up there. All right, so Sir Algrim is still in his opening statements with Ariok, who is waiting patiently. It's still very regally arrayed in his massive and opulent throne. Other than that, nothing really much has changed. There are a large number of guards in the area. This room is massive, as is the throne. And it seems to be shaped just right so that people who are standing in front of it can be heard with ease from the high throne area.
So basically, if we were to say anything, we could definitely be heard.
Ostensibly, yes.
Okay, well, I'll have to remind myself to keep my mouth shut.
You are in the more servants area.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're kind of off to the side.
By a good 20 to 30 feet.
So, well, maybe while they're doing their thing, we can talk to the servants.
No, that's very rude.
It is very rude.
And
So,
we would
10,
not speak until spoken to.
yeah. 20 to 30 minutes passes by, a lot of back and forth, inquiries, and other things that are open for conversation, but not necessarily what you would understand, Fredrick, is that it's not like the actual secrets that they're there for. It's more of this is the official business thing where everything is being necessarily recorded, but this is the public display of government being used as a political tool to get people okay with the idea of certain things going on.
Am I still hearing that voice?
Yes. Every so often. It seems to have gotten a little bit more grumpy and a little more intermittent, but it's still... It's like it's grumbling in the back of your head, wondering why you haven't done anything yet.
So, I would know Rard's voice. And is this Rard?
This is Rard.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
Totally understandable. So as it seems that things are wrapping up, Sir Algrim takes his leave and is dismissed, and his retinue, which include you, make their way out of the throne room into the kind of waiting area outside.
Oh man, we're being kicked to the curb.
No,
I didn't want to make a huge speech for all of them because then that would be a lot more work on my end. But yeah. You see, Sir Algrim is not as happy as you think he would be after what seemed to be a very good first introduction, or introduction into the city after his long absence.
Mhm. Sir Algrim, a minute.
Certainly. It takes you over to an alcove, seemingly built for the purpose. Nice and well cushioned. A nice little smoking corner with a privacy curtain.
Um, and I would just very quickly fill him in about how Councilman Daruna, the gentleman that he sent us to speak with, was assassinated by poisoning. I have a few contacts that are working on finding out the source, but we have two predominant suspects. One is the king himself, and the other is the Order of Saronicus. Um, Saronicus has a very large holding here, it seems. But we have been able to link up with another councilman named Councilman Fairfax, who I believe would be a very good ally for political favor, as well as some of the local tribes that reside outside of the city. And two, well, not so favorable characters who could assist with the quiet portion of our dealings.
Good. This is worrying to hear that Seronicus has gotten much larger hold in this area. It might make it much harder for us to root him out.
And there's one more thing. And with that, I'll lean in really closely and say, I can't tell you my source, but the king or someone close to the king is very closely allied to Seronicus. I suspect the king himself.
The king did seem different than the last time I saw him, which was about 30 years ago.
Time does do that.
He didn't have the same
Booger?
charisma that he had the last time I saw him. That's not something that is lost. I want you to do more research into this problem. I don't if it gets to be too problematic, I may not be able to shield you and you may be on your own. But I think you're capable enough and discreet enough to carry out the work without drawing too much attention.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
If there's nothing else, I have pressing business to attend to with my own political intrigue.
No problem.
Right. He exits the small chamber and goes about his business. All right. So, Yoan, if I remember correctly, he's still in the hotel, and the rest of you are in the, we'll call it the waiting room outside the throne room within the Oasis's palace.
Except me, I'm back at the hotel or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I would tell them that when we get back to the hotel, we need to talk about some things, and that I would start heading that way.
Okay. Your retainers also are following you. The streets seem particularly busy. Again, you see a lot of what seems to be coverings of particular pieces of art, statues.
I would like to go up to one of the art pieces and look behind the covering.
Okay.
What kind of scene is it?
It appears to be a historic battle scene depicting from not much really you can tell. It appears to be several tribes during a warring states period, for lack of a better term, of the desert. You don't know precisely when, but there are many depictions of combat throughout a large area that appears to be sandy, much like Olton is.
Okay.
At least this particular one.
Seems like he's trying to get rid of the history. Okay.
Okay. Is there any particular places you'd like to go before going back to the hotel?
Not for me. Not at this moment.
All right.
Okay. Does anybody have any ideas where I might be able to find, what's the word?
I think you were looking for a blacksmith, or you can go back to the one place where you almost sold your axe.
I was
No,
gonna say potato. Sounds good.
No, I can't think of a word besides compatriots, but that's not right.
A place to hire mercenaries?
No.
Brothels?
No. Does anybody have any ideas where I might find some business partners of Ernesto's?
There is actually a wizard's tower within the palace.
Yes, but more than likely you would have to take Yoan to help you get in there.
Technically, no, because he is in the employ of the Stone Syndicate.
Okay. See, I didn't know I was in the employ, who I was technically in the employ of.
That's right. Nestor said he was working for him.
Technically, a bit of backstory here. Barak was selected technically as a test subject for one of the branches of the Stone Syndicate underneath Overseer number 3. They found that he was pretty decent at what he did, but also because of the natural magics that he wields, was also kind of unofficially brought into the Stone Syndicate. And now they kind of use him as the hired muscle. And now he's been loaned over to Overseer number 2, which is Nestor. And he has been assigned particularly to Yoan's detail to overlook things with the promise of riches galore.
So basically, by that rich backstory, he means to tell us all that you could technically go in there by yourself as long as you're nice and don't kill anyone.
I mean, that's a pretty big step.
Gonna kick the door down.
They'd probably have.
Here, I can do what I want.
They'd probably have the wherewithal to actually repair that damage.
I'm sure.
So you want to go to take a detour to the Wizard's Tower within the palace walls. Okay. Okay, so you make your way. There's no mistaking the Wizard's Tower. It's large, it's tall, it's wizardy.
How wizardy.
I thought you were going to say there was no mistake in the barbarian because he's so dang tall. Everybody's shorter than him.
It's
it's large, it's tall, it's barbarianly.
Hogwarts level wizardy.
It's more of classical Merlin, just a little bit, but on a much grander scale. Instead of being like 20 to 30 feet across, it might be more like 60 feet across.
Oh man, now I want to go in there.
It's a much different architecture than the surrounding area, so it could either have been just magically crafted there in and of itself, or they just particularly decided to make it look different than the rest of the surroundings. Well, everything else is these soft, almost flesh-toned or light skin-colored buildings like the rest of the area, like more like an adobe. This is more of a very, very dark, rough granite or general stone. Which makes it seem much darker than the surrounding area.
Would I know if that stone is local?
Make a nature check.
Oh boy. What an important role right now.
Do you have like a negative bonus for that, or?
Oh yeah. But I am.
Okay.
It looks like stone. It's stone-like.
I'm just like, granite.
It's not like sandstone, which is actually what the plateaus to the northeast of Alton are, but it's not shale either. It's a very solidly built stone.
Is it granite?
It's pretty much close to granite, but not as white based. It's mostly more like a dark granite.
They're different color granites. Says the geologist.
Yeah,
I'm not
for sure.
the geologist, man. I was just like it's really dark granite. It's really dark.
It's. I guess
There's not a lot of red undertones. It's mostly dark hues of gray and black.
Okay, I can put that.
So we
Cool.
just hit level.
6.
Can somebody who's better at this than me, is it level 7 when we get our next ability score improvement?
I think it's 8.
That would be 8.
8, okay. I was just wondering. Okay, so if people want to figure out what's in the Wizard's Tower, I'm all for that. But since I didn't say where I was, I want to assume that I'm somewhere else. Until there's something in there to buy or somebody to learn from, then I want to go in there.
Okay, so Brock, you said you're heading to the Wizard's Tower, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk through the immense courtyard, which you can see within your maps to be quite large. That's the very straight walled square. I probably should mark roughly where the
Have maps.
Wizard's Tower is. Let's make that a nice gray square. Despite the fact that it's round, I can't be bothered.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So it is on the southeastern side of the is on the southeastern side of the area. It is the gray square on the map because I'm sharing that now. If Brock can see it.
Or you just pointed it out? Yeah.
All right. So that area is where the Wizard's Tower is. It's this immense grayish thing. All right. You proceed the several hundred feet to it. And there is a large door made out of wood, nice arch, big enough to be able to accept you and probably most carts through it.
Is there anyone attending the door?
Not that you can see.
All right. I'm going to go up and knock on the door.
Okay, you go up and knock on the door. At this point, you notice that there are also a couple of boards across the entrance to the Wizard's Tower.
And they're just like set in brackets barring the door.
They are like someone boarded up the entrance to the Wizard's Tower.
Oh. I'm going to
Don't
cut
say
the
it.
door. Brock's axe! La!
What?
Okay, you hit.
Whoa, what just happened?
Probably let's roll 20. Oh, you came out of roll 20.
Somebody else roll damage for me?
I could click on Brock's axe for you. Brock's axe. Whoops. There we go.
Okay. 17. Is that points of damage? Let's say you break one or two of the three boards.
Alright. I'll swing again.
Okay. For the sake of brevity, we'll say you break that board too.
Here I was going to suggest you go around back.
There's one door.
Oh,
There's generally only one door in towers, as far as I know.
To the outside, at least.
Yeah. Does the door push in or pull out?
It appears to push in.
Right. I'm gonna kind of hang around this side of the corner or around the side of the door, and I'm gonna push it in while peering in slowly.
Okay. So one of
wait,
the
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
as one of the halves of the door pushes slightly in, you look inside, and it appears to be dark.
I'm with him, right?
I would assume so, because none of you said you were splitting up, except Yoan's in the hotel.
Okay, I would like to use divine sense.
Okay. If I remember correctly, Divine sense the strong presence of evil. Noxus are powerful good rings like heavenly music. Action open to detect such forces. You do within 60 feet of you. You do not sense any celestials, fiends, or undead.
Okay.
What's the range of that?
60 foot.
I also forgot he took his first level of paladin.
You
Oh.
also sense just the faintest hint of an evil odor.
So, I sense evil, but I don't register any celestial, fiend, or undead.
I'm trying to think what I have in my inventory.
If you needed some light, if I was here, I could cast it on one of your weapons right now.
Yeah,
I
I
know,
figured.
are
And
you-
I could always. Yeah, that's the thing is I can light something on fire just by touching it, but I need to know what I have on me.
Well, I have a torch.
Well, I'll take the torch. I can
We
light that
have
on
the
fire.
mundane answer.
I mean, my first thought was a javelin, but
All right, I give him one of my torches.
Okay.
I would also, since we're coming to this and it's obviously been boarded up, I'm going to
Damn.
keep my hands on my hilts, ready to lash out.
Okay. All right. So Frederick hands you a torch, which I assume you light, Brocked, and he
I
seems
light
to.
and I'm going to throw it into. Well, do you have another torch, by chance?
Yes, I have plenty. I have 9 after you threw that one.
All
Why
right,
don't you
yeah, I
just
throw that
hold
into
on?
the room, and then I'm going to pull out my axe and request another torch.
Are you going to throw this one as well?
No.
Are you lying to me?
Inside check.
Yeah, I'll
Please.
give him one more torch.
It's still there. We can collect it unless we die.
Such optimism.
All right.
But yeah, I give him another torch.
Okay. He gives you another torch, and you obviously light it.
Yes, I light it, and I guess I had to pull out one. Well, because I got the torch in one hand, I can't wield my big axe. So
I would say you'd be able to carry it, just not really attack with it, or like
yeah.
at least attack with disadvantage, like significant disadvantage.
All right. I'm
Are you
going
going
to
in?
push. Yes, I'm pushing the door open all the way and seeing what I see.
All right. So you open the door and you see. Didn't toss it all that far in, 10 to 20 feet with the torch, and it creates low light in the rest of the room. Those of you who have low light vision, such as that offered by the Tabard of Ithod, see a little bit farther into the dim light. But Brock, you see a large cavernous space with walls, and the torch did not land on any rugs or things that were flammable, but just a stone flagged floor. You see the distant glints of metallic fixtures reflecting the light.
I'm going to walk in, keeping my back to the wall.
Okay. You make your way 10 to 20 feet in, and there is a corner just to your right, and you can see 10 or so feet across from you another corner on the opposite side of the wall, and then you see it opens out into some sort of seating or general quarters area. There is actually a fireplace, and there appears to be a couple of staircases on either side and multiple doors.
I'm just following Brock the entire way.
Okay.
Right.
What?
Do you have a map of like the inside?
No, I do not. I did not expect you to come in here at all. So, theater of the mind, people. Theater of the mind. The inside is also made of roughly the same stone, a little bit more dressed, so it's smoother and not very rough like the outside is. And it's a bit more polished.
So, based on what's what, there's a faint odor of whatever, maybe a twinge of evil or maybe a tad bad. There's nobody in here?
You're just in a dark, slightly lit sitting room with staircases and doors leading off of it.
But there's like nobody here to greet us, nobody here to tell us how smart they are or anything like that?
I mean, unless they nailed themselves into this building, then yeah, no.
What a ripoff.
Right.
There's still a tower to explore.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. We should do that.
I don't want to. You think I should see if there's any firewood in the fireplace or by the fireplace?
Do you want to do that?
I mean, it would help light the place up.
True. Okay.
But if somebody sees smoke coming out of the chimney in a tower that's supposed to be closed down,
And then they rush it.
yeah.
So, okay, I mean, there you have a torch, a couple torches, and a couple of us can see in the dark, so
Okay.
Are you and Treadskala following them in?
No, I did not go in the building.
I did not.
I thought based on what was happening for the sake of attempting to help, I did go in the building.
You need to state that, otherwise you're
Okay.
outside the building.
Otherwise, you're on the outs. Okay, I'm in the building with them.
All right. Yes. Let's start at the
So this is
rightmost door and go through them in a clockwise direction, or open them.
Okay.
See what's what.
There are about 6 doors. The first one you open appears to be kind of a general storage room, kind of all dusty and boxes and sacks that are empty on the floor. Shelving.
empty sacks and empty boxes.
There's boxes and there's empty sacks.
Oh, okay, boxes that may have something in there, but the sacks are empty. Okay.
Everything's
That was
pretty
inappropriate.
dusty in there.
I know what I could do, but I don't want to do it for fear of drawing attention to us.
Well, thank you for not stating anything about something.
You're welcome.
The next room, similar. It seems to be a washroom. The one after that, place, kind of a small eating area. Another place, the last place is the kitchen, and the other 2 places are also storage and or places for people to wash up or use the bathroom.
Okay.
All right. And there was a staircase going up.
There are 2, actually.
Going in
Two.
opposite directions?
They technically are kind of going the same direction up, but they go with the curve of the tower.
Like that classic balcony style where there's 2 sets of
So they-
stairs going to the same
They
place.
go to the same place. Yeah.
Kind of, only instead of going all the way up to the same place, they go to the same floor, but there is the ceilings are probably about 10, maybe 15 feet tall, and halfway up each of them, they reach the second floor, and then they could ostensibly meet somewhere farther up. But it's like someone took that design, put a roof right in the middle of it,
Mhm.
then it leads up.
I wonder who that someone could be.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I'm
Sorry,
glad you're out
sorry,
cold.
I got real meta there.
Yeah, we can't do that.
All right, okay, I'm just gonna go upstairs.
Which side?
Left side.
Okay, so you cross over to the left side and you come up the stairs. The stairs are actually a very nice hardwood, kind of in the torchlight it looks a rich brown satiny finish. Very in tune with the style of the region, but this entire tower isn't. It feels more like a den that you would find in a much more wintry location. But you make your way up the stairs, and they lead a few feet up from where the ceiling is, and you come out on the next floor. And 10 or 10 or so feet, you see the top of the stairs there, but it's on the outer wall of the tower, and it kind of mirrors that the area below it in shape, but in the opposite direction.
Be right back. Sorry.
Okay. There's more. There's actually a set of shelving and places to sit, kind of like a small library, but more open planned. And there's also various rooms around the edges of there, and a couple more staircases. This one has a staircase right in the middle that leads up to the next floor, while there are more doors on either side.
Do you guys think we should look in the rooms or keep going up?
I think we should look in the rooms
Right. Yeah.
briefly. I mean, if this is practically abandoned, I don't really see the harm in it. Unless, of course, we find the source of that smell.
I'm thinking somebody's gonna be dead in here somewhere.
Oh, man.
Probably the wizard.
Okay, so
Boarded it up.
Dead frog farting.
Sounds like they abandoned the place.
you check some of the shelves are actually empty, completely removed of any and all things. As you check each of the rooms, there seem to be some are more archival, others are more like a library, and still others are what would be massive rows of books and other things, but instead they appear to be carved out of stone. Others still have the shelving there. It's scraps of blank pieces of paper are
Wait.
on. What?
Sorry, you said there are what appear to be shelves of books that are carved out of stone?
Yes.
Like they were possibly regular books and somebody transformed them into stone?
They look kind of like that.
Like the books are stone or the shelves are stone?
Like the books are stone.
Okay.
So somebody was
And the
having,
shelves.
somebody was having fun. I want to come back here eventually to see if we can
Would
find
check
any
some information in the books.
spell scrolls or any kind of interesting stuff we can take with us. No, maybe we should do that now.
Okay, what are you doing?
Paper, so is it just like mundane paper or magic like note paper?
It appears just to be pieces of parchment. They actually look like some pieces have been torn off of something. There's nothing to indicate what they've been attached to. It's just small. I'm talking like inch or less long pieces of paper.
Oh,
Like you would use to mark a piece in a book that you didn't have a bookmark for.
so basically it's not full sheets or anything, so it's almost worthless for anything but a bookmark.
Yes.
And like there's no writing on it or nothing.
Nope. There's no
Okay.
writing.
So so there's some interesting looking stone books that somebody was having fun creating and some paper scraps. So like is there anything else in here we could search before moving on?
This is over like a couple rooms.
Okay, so I have to remember to look in the room with the boxes that have the empty sacks in there before we go. I want to see what if anything's in there.
Okay. Are you continuing searching this floor or are you going up?
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay. You go up to the next floor. It's similar layout. There are glass cases that are empty, like display cases, mostly on pedestals for small items. There are also numerous doors leading off from here, and one spiraling staircase. Not spiraling staircase. It goes around the outside, very similar to how the bottom stairs were, but there's only one of them instead of two.
Curved stairway.
Yeah. Do you search here? Or you continue up.
I'm just gonna keep going up.
Okay, you go up to the next floor. This one seems to be much more specialized. There seems to be observational equipment and things that you, as being Brocked, would understand that the wizards would look through and chart things in the sky and or see things far away with them.
Okay.
There's also more doors leading off.
I have proficiency in navigation, so I don't know.
You would recognize this as navigational or telescopic equipment, yes.
Right.
But it still has those weird squiggles on it.
Weird squiggles? Oh, right.
You can't read.
Well, technically, in 5th edition, barbarians can read.
He didn't take the extra points to circumvent the lack of reading.
What do you mean?
Oh, I was under the impression that barbarians had to either be illiterate or take skill points from their basic line to put into learning how to read and write.
Yeah, it was something like that in 3.5. I know that.
Yeah, in 3.5. In 5th edition, they kind of got rid of that.
All right. Do you want to be able to read, Brock?
I mean,
or
what's
do we
his intelligence?
I think it's 9.
Can we say no? My intelligence is 11. My wisdom is 9.
Oh, well, with an 11, I feel like he'd be
Oh,
able to read.
Yeah, okay. It has
Margin.
magical writing on it of our arcane script. You can read normal, common, and whatever other languages you can speak.
Your intelligence is what, you said?
11.
Well, same as mine.
He's just an unwise barbarian, which sounds really weird when I say it out loud.
Okay, so
You
if
know,
I
you know
was
what's weirder is a charismatic barbarian.
Not really.
No?
No.
That's how you get intimidation.
That's also how you get intimidation. It's also how you get Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan the Barbarian.
Okay, so
That
you
was a good scene, man.
said this.
Okay, I was continuing upstairs.
Okay. You go to a few more. To speed this up, you go through various floors alternating between the different styles of stairways, various other places, more books or more bookshelves, more stone books in some places, more rooms around these centralized chambers. One at the top seems to be, from what your experience with the Stone Syndicate, to be a room for teleport circles, but each one is behind a securely locked door and possibly magically warded as well. Then you go up and still more and more, you find nothing. Assuming Fredrick has been following you this entire time, the feeling of evil comes and goes after a couple of floors. It's not extremely strong, but it's just kind of like, the best way I can describe it is if someone had a really terrible fart and it's still kind of there. But
Lingering farts.
Like, do I smell it like consistently, or is it like stronger in a certain area?
it's stronger just above the area that has viewing, or it would be the floor that has the observational equipment rather than the pedestals and display cases.
I
You
would
know
like to
That
take
means we have to go in there.
Yeah, I would like to sniff that out.
Yeah.
You would you?
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
the
I'm not picking you
presence of strong evil registers on your
Here,
senses
made
like
it to the
obnoxious
top.
odor.
The scent is stronger below us. We should go back down.
Well, I
Check
mean, you
out
guys
those.
can keep going up. I'll go down. I think I could be able to handle it.
Are we at the
Well, did
top
we
of
make
the
it to
tower
the?
yet? Yeah.
This is a pretty large and pretty tall tower.
Okay. I thought
You,
it was like 60 to 90 feet tall or whatever.
that was 60 to 90 feet wide.
Oh,
Anyway, so Brock and Lundgren Bosk make it to the top of the tower. The door to the very top of the tower is a ladder and a trap door, but that trap door is locked with an enormous padlock.
oh, really?
Yes,
Hmm.
really.
I might have a bit of a thing for that. I don't know. Let's see what we got.
Keep your fetishes for locks out of this, please.
Never mind. Let's
Okay,
see.
so Fredrick,
Could I cast poison spray on it, hoping to disintegrate it?
does it do acid damage or poison damage?
Poison damage.
I'm
Poison
pretty sure the lock is not like a living being.
Yeah, I know the lock's not a living being. It said poison spray, not acid spray. I don't want to spend a spell slot on this. You think Eldritch Blast would do anything? It's lightning. That might help.
Do you have knock?
I thought that was a wizard spell.
I think you could take it.
Oh. Oh, okay. The answer's still no, but I'm going to have to contemplate that for later. Because if I can or somebody can teach me, I'll take it, definitely. We run into more locked doors and switches than I can shake a stick at.
Okay.
That's a lot of shaking sticks.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if
All right, so that's
part of the roof, I would say, oh yeah, and Kool-Aid Man. Kool-Aid Man would Man through it. But
Whoa. First off, the oh yeah Kool-Aid Man, that's my thing, but
I also use it in our 3.5 game a lot.
Okay,
God
so
damn it, Trent. That was my thing.
Yeah, I didn't take that.
if it's locked, we can do a couple of different things, okay? You can try to burn it or hit it or
Okay. I have to ask a serious question. Why does a locked door at the top of a tower, after you pass like 20 to 30 other locked doors, must be broken into? That's my own.
At the top.
hey, I feel no need to break into it. It's a trapdoor to the roof, unless we're not actually at the top of the tower.
What's the
Oh,
attic?
you said
Oh,
that was the last bit. It goes up to a ladder that goes up to the top of that door there. I think we're like one floor away from the top of this whole thing. And in case you're wondering, I don't have a compunction or a compulsion to want to fall off anything today.
Nah, I'm hitting that lock.
Okay.
We were just
You-
talking about lock fetishes. Come on, man.
Okay.
I'll click on it for you.
You hit the lock.
Whoop. Messed up. What now? That messed up.
What the?
There we go.
Okay. So it does no discernible damage to the big padlock on the roof latch.
Magic lock.
Let's go see.
Is it a wooden door?
Yeah, it appears to be a wooden door.
Wizard tower? No way.
Oops.
Unheard of.
Damn it.
Rage! Rage!
That wasn't supposed to happen.
There we go.
Okay, you hit the wooden door, the wooden trap door. What are you trying to do, Lindgren?
I was trying to hit the button for him. He said he was having difficulties.
Crap. Try to roll damage and it fucking freezes again.
Okay, so your axe sinks in between some of the boards and just sticks there.
Your axe is lost forever.
It opens an interdimensional portal and you're sucked into it and never seen again. No, that does not happen.
Hell.
All right.
If I'm the only one who's going to be there to go in after you, I'm pretty sure you're doomed.
Make a strength check to pull out your axe.
Would it be like a? I don't know. Would that be like a grapple check or a strength check to pull that
It'll
out?
be just a straight strength check.
All right. Could somebody pull a strength check?
For Brock?
Yes, for Brock.
Damn it.
You wow, that's wedged in there pretty substantially. You just
How much does the axe weigh?
It's a 7.
7 pounds?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and give it a yank.
okay. Make a strength check for your mage hand.
I don't think it would really help that much.
5 pounds, is it?
I thought
It
my
can lift-
hand was like 5-pound telekinesis.
It can lift 10. Total 10. So it'd barely be able to hold the axe, let alone pull it.
Okay, so you want me to do the strength check or not?
For the hand, yes.
I mean, you could always roll a net. Oh. Almost.
You pull you pull on it and it's because he was leaning so much on it, you pull on the axe and it causes Brock to fall. He takes 2 points of bludgeoning damage as he hits the floor as your mage hand pulled the axe free, which he was trying to yank on, and threw him off balance, and he's now on the floor.
Sorry, are you okay?
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm not even there.
By the way, you are just sitting outside, and there are like some stray cats and dogs just kind of coming up and sniffing you.
Oh my god.
I will cast Speak
Is
to
it
Animals and talk to them.
I'm gonna just stand up disgruntledly and just kind of storm off. I'm gonna go back downstairs. Obviously, I don't think I know it's him that broke it free. So I just fell. So yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and try to find Fredrick.
Okay. Lundgren, are you just going to stay there and put more effort
No,
on
are there
this
any?
one?
No. I'm gonna come back. We can come back when we're level 20, and I can just mind bend the door and rip the door off the hinges.
All right.
But until then,
If I wanted to, I could just burn every piece of wood in this building.
Yeah.
Could you
I don't
now?
know
that's
about
the
that.
only issue with that is that there are 2 other people in here with you, and prestidigitation only works on small fires. So I don't just because I'm half celestial, I don't.
Okay. So you make your way back down. Fredrick is
any
still
other
prowling
doors?
around. What?
Are there any other doors I can look into for things to look at?
There, you have passed like 20 to 30 doors.
Can I look at the boxes on the ground floor with the empty sacks?
I guess you're going all the way back down to the bottom.
Oh my god, man.
for now,
This
yeah.
thing needs like a fireman's pole.
Okay. All the way down and begin searching the storerooms, the empty sacks, and the boxes. Meanwhile, Fredrick, you find Brock is now there as you're sniffing out the source of evil, which appears to be behind one of the doors in the observatory room.
Evil!
Have you found anything yet?
I think I found it. Is the door unlocked?
You can try the handle.
I'd like to try the handle.
Okay, it is in fact unlocked.
I will open
Oh,
the door
man.
slowly.
All right, you slowly open the door. The room is rather bare.
How many bears are in there?
Enough bears to make it interesting.
Roll
You
initiative.
you see a bunch of large hairy men. No, you open the doors. You open the door and you see a room filled with light. There is a slit window in there. There is on either side, built into the walls, a set of shelving, like the you've seen throughout the rest of the place. Both of them are filled with the similar stone books that you've seen before, and there is one figure in there.
One figure, or like one person, or a figurine?
One figure, about average man's height.
I'm
Ahoy
going
there.
that works too.
What was that?
I said, ahoy there.
You get no response.
I'm going
I'm
to
gonna have my swords out and ready.
Stone, along with his books. I'm going to walk up and put my hand on the shoulder of the figure.
Trent,
Okay.
did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. You took the swords out preparedly.
Yeah.
Okay, as you place your hand on the statue, you feel the cold stone that is it underneath your warm hands. It appears to be looking toward the door.
Can you?
What kind of a
describe
pose is
to
it
us?
in?
Yeah.
It's just kind of standing up straight, its hands meshed together, almost like it's not kowtowing. What's that phrase? Anyway, like his hands are together, only the fingers are slightly meshed.
Like maybe he was bowing to greet somebody or something?
You have seen similar poses taken up by certain casters in your time working with the Stone Syndicate.
Sorry, Stone Syndicate.
You got some weed on your mind, Tread Scala.
He's got a full bag of herbs in a sack. You remember that?
They're not for smoking, though. I can get you some, though.
I didn't say a word. You did. Let's see.
What are you doing?
I'm searching a box.
It's a box. Most of them are nailed shut, very dusty. Most of them are empty. Some of them feel as if they've just been nailed shut over an empty box.
Okay, I'm going to make my way back up to where Brock and Fredrick are.
Okay. You see that they're looking into what time would it be? A more easterly facing room. Or sorry, it's on the north side, more northeast. There's light shining into the room. You see them standing there with a very realistic looking statue just off center in the middle of the room.
How's it going, boys?
I want to cast, or it's not even cast, it's use Divine Sense again. Just to get a stronger feel.
You feel as if a suspension of very strong evil had taken place here maybe of several months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you also feel as if there was a pushback of goodness at the same. They've kind of melded each other to the point that they kind of cancel each other out. But you don't sense anything celestial or fiendish in the room.
But I sense something undead.
You do not sense something undead.
Okay.
That would require it to actually be alive or
Well, no,
half alive.
You
I didn't mention it, and I was trying to think of what the third thing that sensed was.
I was just making sure,
Yeah, no, you do not sense anything undead.
All right, I want to take the broadside of my sword and just tap the statue.
Okay, you tap the statue.
Just nice metallic ring. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, it's a solid stone, freakishly accurate looking depiction of a wizard who looked to be in mid-cast.
Okay, so that tells me what happened here. I know what happened now.
Is he anchored to the ground?
He appears to be, actually.
hold on. Let me look at something real quick.
All right.
We could desecrate this corpse.
No, I'm not going to desecrate the corpse.
Technically, it's a statue. It's not a corpse anymore.
This is true.
I don't know. Does anybody know any spells that could bring him back? Perhaps.
Lesser restoration only works if you're blind, deaf, paralyzed, or poisoned. So, no.
Stone
I
to
mean,
flesh,
I
maybe.
I think it requires
I don't know how long
1,000
he's-
GP diamond.
don't
To
know how long
reverse.
he's been dead. So,
Well, or at least his statue. You don't know if he's dead or not.
He's probably dead.
if I had greater restoration and he was actually petrified, I could do something about that. But I don't. That's 5th level slot, and I'm not there yet. So,
I would say we just come back later.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
kind of what I was thinking.
this telescope. We're in the room with the telescope now, or
Telescopes.
more than one. You said they were writing on there. Can I read it? Does it make any sense to me?
It's literally just about adjusting the knobs and the other functioning parts of the telescope.
So boring astronomical jazz. I gotcha. Okay, that's fine. So we haven't found anything worth taking but a few scraps of 1-inch paper.
Well, there's other astronomical things like globes and other stuff.
Oh,
But there's just no books or maps or anything.
That's too bad.
I would turn to Lundgren, but yes, I think this building has been cleaned out by Saronicus
Hmm.
and his
Yeah.
followers.
Okay.
Poor guy.
And then they killed everyone with this poor bloke.
We don't have proof that they killed anyone.
Well, okay.
I'm
he's
pretty
just-
sure they killed him.
Well,
Did they? Because there are very
They didn't.
specific locations that have books turned to stone and a man turned in the stone in the middle of a cast, surrounded by books covered in stone, or books of stone.
that never occurred to me. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically they wanted to make an example out of whoever this was, maybe?
Or they traveled along as they fought and somebody trying to turn him into stone was turning other objects such as the books into stone instead of him until they caught him in that room.
So they were just sloppy, I guess. Okay, maybe. Or playing with their food, so to speak.
Or that.
Something of that manner.
Well, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
That's terrible,
The
man.
indifference.
Terrible.
Well,
The
it's not indifference. It seemed like it's a bunch of locked doors that lead nowhere. I at least expected to be insulted when I came in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back down to the bottom floor and
I'll go with you.
Yeah,
Has that torch burned out yet?
You know how long torches burn, right? It takes
No, I mean,
2 to 3
like-
hours.
Oh, okay. So the one that's still on the ground is still on the ground burning?
Yes.
I gotcha. Okay.
just as I reach the bottom floor, I go and pick up the other torch.
Okay.
So now you have two.
Yeah. Which I guess means I put my axe away.
You sound so depressed saying that.
Yeah, I know.
Put my axe away. Okay, so you pick up you have 2 torches now.
I'm gonna go outside and snuff them out.
Okay. So you go out in the dusty kind of walking area. You snuff the torches out. You see Tread just like he's got a couple of cats on each shoulder, a cat on the top of his head, surrounded by dogs, looking extremely happy with himself.
Just having several conversations at the same time.
Yes.
Did you teach me speak with animals officially, Tread?
I don't know, did I?
I have it circled here that you said you could teach me. So depending on what's what, I'd like to learn that officially if we have some time here. Oh, and by the way, I want to make a couple of... I want to make those rolls to try to craft some perfume just for fun. So that was...
You're going to do that right here in the middle of the palace.
Let's head back to the hotel.
Oh, let's head back to the hotel first. I guess I...
Fred, could you ask the animals if they know what happened here?
Sorry, what?
Could you ask the animals if they know what happened here?
I will do so.
Thank you.
I would assume they might have even told me if they knew. I mean,
Well,
we've been having a pretty long conversation while you guys were terrorizing the tower.
So, through the conversation that you've been having with the strays of the area, you know that several individuals came to the tower. For the most part, the wizards seem to have just left. They boarded up. They boarded up the tower after taking a lot of books and other scrolls and things like that out of the tower, and then just kind of left it there.
I relay this to the party.
Okay, then.
Hmm.
As we suspected, that's good confirmation.
I will give every animal that came to me a little bit of food.
Do I have any food scraps that I can give to the animals?
Let's see what I got here. Hold on.
Probably.
Just kill a random guard and feed him to the animals.
No. That'd be terrible.
And me.
I forgot I had those old books we got from that underground cavern. I should read those.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw animals one of my rations.
Okay, I'm assuming you unwrap and distribute it, and not just toss the thing at them.
Yeah.
Just gets a random dog in the face, like, what the hell,
Oh,
dude?
that'd be terrible.
Okay, so
All right, I'm gonna have a smoke.
all
Okay.
right, I'll take a small reset here. Any questions can be directed at me, and step out of the role of DM for a second or two.
See, I was kind of thinking this whole thing was gonna be like completely futile, considering you said you didn't even expect us to go in here.
Well, it's not necessarily that it was futile. I'm be honest. I expected. So Saronicus' whole thing is taking magical and mundane goods and controlling them, and making everyone equal, even though he himself is a god, or is viewed as a god. Which means that they can't be equal to him. It's weird. And when he started saying about how everything is empty and gone, I kind of realized, okay, Saronicus.
Yeah.
Very possible you guys just discovered something we weren't supposed to find for a while.
Here's the thing: if the king wasn't on Saronicus' side, or if he isn't Saronicus himself, then he would have presumably done something about at least like reopening and like getting another wizard to put in the tower. I would think.
It depends upon how much power Saronicus holds in the city.
Yeah.
Because essentially, if Saronicus has enough power, then he controls the city, and the king is useless. The king is just a puppet that Saronicus allows to remain in power.
I now know why Grog absolutely loves how paranoid we are in the 3.5 game. It's also quite interesting just what you guys seems to think is important in like actions. Like, there's a large padlock on it. We must break it open.
Well, you use a big lock for important stuff. Video games
Or for safety,
taught us
so
this.
people don't go up on the roof and fall and
True.
die.
Video game logic. The toughest lock holds the best loot.
It should. It
And
really
that makes
should.
sense. It
It
really
does.
does.
It does
If there
make sense.
This way, we're going in the right direction.
But also, completionist, unlock every door, get every loot.
Although, yeah.
Well, I was gonna at least make a halfway attempt to do that, but then it was like, If this place has been abandoned, I wasn't sure we just weren't searching for nothing.
Out of the emerald, the the major thing that would actually be of any value within there was held by magical locks with the teleport rooms or the
Oh,
teleport sigil rooms.
they were excessively worded, you said.
Yes, they're magically held in place.
We can still go back there as long as we have like dispel magic and junk like that or whatever.
You assume you have a dispel magic high enough to defeat the magic.
Well, I mean, eventually. I didn't mean like 5 minutes from now. Heaven's sakes.
Statement still stands.
Side note: my first character to die ever happened this past week.
Oh,
Damn,
wow.
that sucks.
Yeah.
He came back.
That sucks less.
Yeah.
Does he have a scar now, or is he missing any limbs or her?
Haven't decided yet. Probably some messed up shit.
So he's saying he had intestinal damage.
At the very least, he is covered in his own blood. Bare minimum. Broken bones everywhere.
What happened?
Got crushed by a giant statue, and then got hit by a lightning storm,
Oh, God.
and then got finger of death.
This is one big party, ain't it?
Oh, it was amazing.
See, I've only died once so far, and that was when I got insta-killed by death.
Yeah. The only reason why that didn't happen and the last bit of story play didn't play out for Grog was that the cleric and I managed to roll natural 20s on our fortitude saves, and we shrugged off the insta-death ability of Banshee Scream.
Insta-death is nuts.
And he's like, damn it. I was going to have this big old story thing. Y'all messed it up. It's like, well, I'm probably going to die anyway, so I'm just going to try to, like cut the faux horseman that we're fighting and at least make this worth the story.
Yeah. You guys kind of got your asses kicked.
Oh, we got our...
Kinda?
You seem to be under the impression that we don't, or at least my character doesn't get his ass kicked all the time. The very first combat I was ever in with that character, even though it was modified, he took one arrow to the shoulder. Technically, I always imagine it'd be right around here where the clavicle is, and collapsed.
Dragon Age Origin style, nice.
Yeah. And then he was revived after everyone else did all the killing. He was absolutely angry. He kicked off the helmet of one of the assailants that had knocked him unconscious and just curb stomped the skull into a million pieces. I play an orc, by the way, which explains everything, including the gnome skull that I use as an orcish shot put.
Ooh.
I gave some poor dwarven blacksmith probably some scarred memories because I had him fill it with steel. And he was not thrilled at that. It's like, we'd make these all the time where I'm from.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. So, just a little recap. You explored the apparently abandoned wizard tower. Various locations had stone sculptures of books and one freakishly lifelike, bolted to the floor statue of a wizard of some form. Treadscala is now the best friend forever of the local strays, who he talked with extensively while this was happening. Found out what happened to the tower. That just was cleared out.
The strays will pray to me like a god.
Probably.
I have stories about similar things, but those are for off stream. So, what are you guys doing now?
What's the name of the councilman?
Which one?
That died or that we're working with?
The one that we're working with that's still alive.
Fairfax.
Perfect. I'm going to go speak to him alone.
Oh dear. All you're gonna be doing is talking, right? Not swinging anything heavy and metal.
Well, guys, we have one less ally. Or two, depending on how it goes.
Somebody's got to go with him.
Do they?
No one has to go with him. He's an adult.
I'm busy with my army of stray animals.
So you just see, almost Mary Poppins style, Treadskull just traipsing through the streets of the Oasis with this absolutely growing horde of animals. Everyone's kind of weirded out by the lizard man, but now he has an army of strays at his disposal.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
While riding a direwolf.
An army of strays who loves him.
Yeah, they do.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so you make your way to Fairfax's compound, which is, I think, if I remember correctly, on the southeast side of the city. You were met by... was he there? You met by an aide.
Yes.
Before I get into
Aide.
this, what is everyone else doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the hotel.
Okay,
I was going to see if I could get Tread to teach me talk with animals.
We spent a lot of time on a boat, right? I would have been able to teach him a couple things on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably know it at this point.
The
Okay.
only problem was that you were able to copy almost all the spell, or you had...
I
think
had
it was
no
3 weeks.
Magic
That's
ink,
right. You need
yeah.
the magic paper, yeah.
It was
I
3
had
weeks.
Magic ink.
You're able to copy all the stuff down on non-magical paper, but you only had to have magical paper to recopy it down.
Yeah.
So my
Okay.
part in that is done. You can do it.
Okay,
whenever you
so
want.
I can do that. Let's do speak with animals on my magic paper. So that's 9 pieces of paper. And what's another good ritual? Oh, I already did alarm. I already did that one.
Okay.
And let's do. Oh, I did alarm and find familiar. Okay.
What
Are
day
you-
are we on for my rings?
You've completed 1 ring. You're about halfway through the process on the 2nd. Okay. So are Treadskull and Boss going back to the hotel with Fredrick?
I am.
With my army of strays, yes. As long as they follow me, they are welcome.
They kind of don't go into the hotel. They have, oddly enough, some propriety as strays, and they just kind of disperse after that if you go inside.
Goodbye, friends.
Many you hear a conjoined goodbye from all of them. It sounds really cool. Everyone else is kind of freaked out by the noise, but you hear it as what it really is. So, going over to Brocked. You're showing up to Fairfax's room and brought into his office. Gotta help you.
Oh, Mr. Councilman Fairfax.
Yeah.
I'm sure you recognize me from earlier, but I'm here on unrelated business of a more personal nature. And you being the only person of any placement in the city that I know, I was curious if you know anyone in the immediate area that is a member of the Stone Syndicate. I'm looking to collect payment for a task.
I'm sorry, I do not know of anyone related to the Stone Syndicate, although I do know of them. They had a presence in the city for quite some time, but I was not very concerned with them as they did not apply to my duties.
Do you have any idea of anyone that may know of their whereabouts?
I might. Let me check my papers. He looks through it looks like what would be an address book today. And he says, the individual at the Scrollers might be able to help you with your problem. He's the one who deals mostly with the arcane and other magically inclined writing materials within the city. He is the foremost store owner dealing with.
So you said a store owner?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
The Scrawlers is the name of the store he runs.
All right, thank you for your time. If you ever need anything, just let me know.
I'll keep it in mind.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day.
I'm going to walk out and head toward the Scrawlus.
Good day. Okay, you head toward the Scrawlers again. As I flip over to my little book of stores. All right, so you make your way to the west side of the city, southwest of the palace, into the more store-riddled districts, and you come to the Scrawlers. Again, a finely robed individual. I'm guessing you go inside.
Yes.
You go in. I think you've been here before. A familiar-looking, fancy robed individual comes in from the back room. Says, "Hello. Oh, you again."
Yes. Although I'm on a slightly different errand of a more personal nature. I was curious if, well, I was told if anyone in the city knows it would be you. I am looking for members of the Stone Syndicate so that I may collect payment for a job.
Well, I am one of the major individuals who deals with the Stone Syndicate. I also know of various other magic casting groups. I can check to see if there's anyone of the Stone Syndicate around that you may be able to contact. Give me a minute and I'll check my books.
Thank you.
You wait 5 to 10 minutes. He comes back and says, "I have found an individual who is still working in the area, and here's his address." And he writes down something on his a small scrap of paper. Is a street address. And he says, "Take this, and you should be able to find them and tell them Garter Rornan sent you."
Well, thank you, good sir.
You're welcome.
Well, you have a good day.
You too. Come back and buy things.
Subtle. Subtle.
I
always
will when I have some money, maybe.
I always love repeat customers. Makes me feel good, like I do my job really well.
I'm sure you get lots of repeat customers.
Why, thank you. I take that as a compliment.
You have a good day. And
You too.
I'm leaving.
Okay, so you leave Scrawlers.
What was his name?
Garter Yornan.
Yornan?
Gar-
Okay.
Garter
Garter-
Yorn.
Garter.
Garter Yorn. Okay. Guess I'm gonna go towards the address that he gave me.
Well, why would you do that?
Right? I could just go back to the inn. If I want to collect payment, I should just rob some poor shopkeeper.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants to get us killed or outlawed.
Just
Or
go around
outlawed
rob-
and then killed.
Deal.
No, if I wanted to get a kill, I would just spill my current gold on the floor or on the street on a quotes accident. Wait for somebody to try to pick it up, and then just axe murder them.
You really thought this through, haven't you?
Might be a good way to get XP.
I mean, it might be.
Only one way to find out.
Rich.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, I'm going to need a perception check from Brock if he's going to the street address. Okay. As you walk around the thoroughfares, you notice that there is a definite influx of people. As they're walking around, it is getting more towards dinner time and people are trying to get home. But there is an individual who seems to stick out just a little bit in the crowd. You can't really get a good look at him, but he seems to be in extremely dark clothing for the area. And he's just pushing his way through the sea of people.
He looks suspicious.
I mean, no more suspicious than any other traveler with a white hat.
But would I recognize his clothing as him being a member of the Stone Syndicate?
You do not recognize his clothing, although it is different than the clothing that you've seen in both in Healat and what's it called? The Oasis.
Hmm. I'm going to try to catch up to the man.
He's going the opposite direction, and the make a I think it'd be a strength check to see if you can push through the crowd to where he is.
Yeah.
The crowd gets way too dense, and even your broad shoulders can't charge through all the peasants and merchants clogging the way as he gets farther and farther away from where you are.
Huh.
Eventually, he just suddenly kind of blends in with the rest of the crowd.
Well, shit.
And he's gone.
Okay. I guess if I have to, I'll spend a couple of silver or something. I'm gonna ask anyone from the crowd, where the address is.
Okay, it takes about 5 silver to loosen the tongues of the locals, and they point you in the right direction to the town, or to the north of where you are, to the address.
Right. Knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and the door opens, and you don't see anyone where you expect them to be. They're actually like a foot or so lower. You see this very...
As in, like, the floor is lower, or they're very short?
They're very short. They probably come up to your gut.
Both.
So they're like 3 foot tall.
Yeah?
Greetings, sir.
What?
I'm gonna crouch a little lower. Greetings, good sir.
Oh, greetings.
I am rocked. I am searching for, or I was sent to you by, oh shit, what's his name?
I don't know that. I don't know that individual. Strange name, though.
Um,
Guys, I'm making a character named Oh Shit, what's his name?
Garter Jordan.
I was sent to you by Garter Jordan.
Yeah, I know that. I know him. Yeah.
Yes.
Who are you again?
My name is Rocked. I was looking. I was.
He shakes your hand, and it seems like he's just like shaking one finger. His hand is kind of small in comparison to yours. He
Right.
just barely gets to the second finger.
Right.
Can I help you?
Yes, I was told you that you are a member of the Stone Syndicate.
Yeah.
All right. May I come in? I need to discuss some business with you.
What?
May I come in? I need to discuss some business with you.
Sure. Yeah. He opens the door a little wider.
Thank you, good sir. I'm gonna step in now.
What? I can't hear you.
He closes the door. You come sit down. He actually has some decent furniture for people who are taller than him. And he sits down in a appropriately sized chair, and there's just kind of like a sofa or more like a futon sitting there. It doesn't have a back, so it's just kind of like a seating bed. Sit down, sit down. Would you like some tea? Something else?
Yes, I'll take some tea.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down on a chair.
He
One that looks
shuffles.
dirty.
He shuffles out. All of it looks dirty. He shuffles out of the room, and you hear kind of some kettles and pots and pans moving around, and you hear him starting the 20, maybe 30 minutes for this whole process, and you eventually hear shh as the tea finally brews in the kettle, and he pours it, and he comes out with a really nice tea set. It is actually quite impressive. There's no handles on the cups, though, very Oriental style. And I got some tea for you. And he sets it down on the table. He picks up his glass and says, "So, what can I help you with?"
I am. Well, you are a member of the Stone Syndicate, correct?
Yeah, we covered that at the door.
I'm just making sure I heard you properly.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is, I have a couple of different topics I'd wish to discuss with you.
We'll get to discussing. I don't have all night. Unless you want to. If then I need to get something a little stronger than tea if you get my drift.
Time is precious when you get to be my age.
I'm also, would you like something to eat when this is getting around dinner time? And I'm getting feeling a little famished myself.
If you would like something to eat, you could go in the kitchen and grab something. I might follow you, and we can discuss our business while you eat.
Sure.
All right.
Sure, let's go. He gets up.
All right, I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. Yeah. He goes in. He comes into the kitchen. Yeah. There are some counters higher than the others. Obviously, some of these were modified for his height and stuff. And you see a couple of like step stools around for him to be able to reach higher things. And so that's a nice little kitchen. It seems surprisingly well kept. It's clean. Let's see, where did I put that bread? Are you sure you don't want anything?
I'm quite sure. But thank you.
Where's my step stool? Okay. So he gets one. He gets up on one of the. It's more like a small ladder, to be honest. And he gets up and opens one of the things.
Right. So I am sort of a unofficial member of the Stone Syndicate, and I was working on a job for Ernesto.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I was told that I would be able to collect payment from the local wizard when I arrived, but the wizard tower has been abandoned.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. But there's not really a local wizard. It was a large guild, and there was just quite a number of people. Well, you wanted was a finance wizard, but I don't know where he is right now. And he kind of gets down off the ladder with his arm full of stuff, and he's making it appears to be a combination of a small flatbreads and various savory dipping sauces and things like that. He's doing this actually quite skillfully despite being old and what you assume to be decrepit. So what does it have to do with me?
Well, I was hoping you could either, if you were connected enough, I could collect payment from you.
Connected to what?
Hmm?
Connected to what?
Well, you are a member of the Stone Syndicate.
Yeah, but what am I connected to?
I'm so confused.
You're asking me if I'm connected to something, but we keep talking about the Stone Syndicate, and I can't figure out why this giant is in my house asking me if I'm connected to something while asking if I'm part of the Stone Syndicate. Make up your mind. He goes back to cooking a bit more. You sure you don't want something to eat?
No, I'm good. I'm sure. Thank you.
Want anything else to drink?
No, thank you. I'm still working on my tea.
Okay. He's starting to plate the stuff now.
Goat milk.
He sets it down kind of this low table there, and he kind of perches on one of the chairs. He starts going. He still has his teeth. It's just that's the way his face looks. Tears off a bit. Dips in. So if you don't mind, we can cut to the chase. I would like to finish this before I'm done with dinner.
I'm looking to collect payment for my job.
Oh, why did you say so?
I love
You're here for money.
Is
Why
my
didn't you just
payment, or
tell me?
should I go to someone else?
No. I can provide. Well, why don't you just say I'm here to collect my paycheck? We have this whole song and dance. I made tea. I made dinner. You came to my house. Why not just say, hey, I'm here for some money. I work for the Stone Syndicate. It could save me so much time. I could have paid you. You could probably have some tea. Maybe even had some dinner. I could have a nice evening.
Okay. I am very sorry for the inconvenience.
It's quite all right. I understand.
Been having some trouble trying to locate the correct person for this, so.
Well, I should assume so. Otherwise, why would you be here?
Right. Have any records or anything that will tell you exactly how much I'm owed, or do you just have to trust my word for it?
What do you think you're owed?
It was 1,000 gold.
I believe I was owed 2,000 gold for this particular job.
That's bullcrap. It's probably 1,000.
Well, it was definitely 2,000 gold.
1,000 gold it is. He gets up from his. You sure you don't want something to drink? You should work on your tea. Need a refill? Need something to freshen that up?
I'm quite well, thank you.
Okay. I'll get your payment. I can see you're a busy man, like some of us. He gets up. He goes out of the room. You hear kind of moderately slow footsteps go upstairs. You wait for another 5 minutes. He comes down. He's got a bag. Got your payment right here. Puts it on the little table. It should be about 1,000 gold in the bag. Is there anything else you need?
Only one really quick question.
What?
Do you know what happened to the wizard tower?
Oh, they left there. And everyone kind of scattered. Haven't heard from one of them, though. Never heard if he got out of the wizard tower or not either.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, I heard that they left the tower. I haven't heard from one of them. I think he still might be in the tower, but I haven't really been in there. Don't really hear much anymore. And a lot of people are spread throughout town or left. And I know some of them who've been told me that a lot of them left through the teleportation sigils. And a lot of them are lying low a little bit more than usual, so.
If this man is an accomplished mage, maybe he can cast Greater Restoration.
On the statue.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was there anything else you wanted, or were you done? Is there any fresh tea? Yeah.
no, that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
And I finish my tea. I get up and I shake his hand again.
Yeah, nice. Just stop by anytime,
I will.
except when I'm sleeping, like in the middle of the night, unless it's really, really important. Because I can't get any younger. I really need to sleep. It makes me cranky. I'm sure you understand. All right. Have a
Yes, I
good
do.
day. Don't spend it all in one place. Stay away from
What?
brothels. Watch your pockets. All right. Goodbye. And you hear the door close
Goodbye.
behind you.
A couple of things. Okay. Number one, this is interesting because we won't particularly know any of this. And number two, it was interesting how the DM particularly ignored your attempt at persuasion.
You're telling me.
This is probably the most fun I've had with any of these characters.
That was awesome.
That
You're
was
welcome.
pretty good. Okay, so he got paid
Did
finally.
What?
You can't say I didn't try.
All
I
right.
don't know. I was
I
expecting
respect
you to
that.
at least try for like 5,000 gold, though.
Seriously?
I knew it's like I left the question open because I know you're gonna try to ask for more. My face hurts from all that. All right. Anyway, what are you doing now?
Oh. What time of the day is it?
Be about after 5. Sun's starting to go down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Heading
Head
towards
back
6.
towards the inn,
Okay.
grab some dinner.
It is the Moon in the Bush Inn, by the way. That's the name of the hotel that you guys are staying in.
Moon.
Moon and the Bush.
Oh,
Oh.
I heard in the bush, but
And, as in accessory participle to. All right. So, you're there. Skull, you can look out any of the given windows and see at least one stray kind of keeping an eye on you.
I waved to him.
It does its best to wave back. It's like, that.
He acknowledges. It's good.
Or if it's a cat, it just goes.
Oh, that's adorable.
Just for the sake of brevity, I say you're just about finished up on the second ring, Yoan.
Okay.
Okay, so were you guys doing anything during that ensemble? Oh, you make a pretty decent set of perfume. There's probably about 50 gold pieces for it. Other than that, it's not really fancy, but you can buy it pretty well. It took you an hour or two.
Okay. Could I have done another set while he was gone?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't very dexterous of a roll.
Yeah, I know.
Is there anything else that's going on?
I'll use my herbs to make some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I want to read the old books.
Okay.
There are 3 of them, it says here.
Yeah. You get something on growing herbs underground, mostly mushrooms and mold.
Alrighty.
Hey, yummy.
Delicious.
The other deals with historic battles from the surface and understanding of various political intrigues of the past. And the other appears to be a book of Lumbian law.
Okay.
It's very dry and very boring, even by surface standards. And that's just the preamble.
Oh, man. So, Book of Lumbian Law, historical surface battles, and how to grow mushrooms and mold underground.
Oh,
So I know how to do all that now.
No,
Step
you
one.
can read about it.
Oh, well, I have some basic instruction about how to do it.
Step 1, poop on the ground. Step 2, leave it.
Step 3, don't do this to me.
No.
yeah.
Anyway, so
I would have been talking to Rard about why he was telling me to kill somebody and who he meant.
well, I told you to kill that imposter,
Which one? Who's the imposter?
the one on the throne.
So that's. What do you mean imposter? Do you mean that's not the king?
Well, he looks like the king, and he sits on his throne, but he's not the king.
Could you speak to anyone else, and how do you know?
I could speak to anyone else, and I know I can speak to other people because I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to apparate? Or would you want me just to speak into their minds?
Well, when it comes to it, I appreciate you operating, so don't freak the fuck out.
Okay.
How do you know he's not the king?
I can sense Seronicus's taint on it. And it does not feel of the power that we would think of as the Dervish King. I could feel it from that Sir Algrim. It wasn't the power that he experienced decades ago.
So you think it's. So you think it's not the king.
It doesn't feel like him. It feels as if someone's putting up a mirage. Quite a good one, too, but not an illusion.
Okay.
So he
Um,
couldn't dispel it, and what would have been close enough with that pendant probably wouldn't have been able to dispel it either. Wow.
Technically, the pendant works on anything he sees.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to go find Sir Algrim then.
All right. As you stroll through the various town squares to Sir Olgrim's quarters by the palace grounds. Actually, it would be in the political district where they would keep kind of like the equivalent of an embassy or something connected to the embassy. Sir Olgrim is staying in that area in one of the more esteemed inns or hostels. You go in, there is it's very lavish in here, for visiting dignitaries and nice wait staff, footmen all over the place, fancy uniforms.
Okay.
So you said I'm almost done, right?
Let's say by an hour or two after nightfall, you have completed your second ring. This is like 1 or 2 more hours.
If they don't get back, I want to start working on like an amulet, like a necklace or something. I mean, I don't
Technically,
want to use it.
several of them are in the hotel.
There. Yeah. Okay.
Because Tread's here, Brock's there.
Brock's
is
technically
there.
on his way back.
Oh, Oh, right. Okay. Oh, that's right. He was like on the other side of town or whatever.
And Fredrick left for business undetermined.
And I'm here because I never really said where I was, and I didn't want to go to where Brock was just to make sure that he didn't kill anyone.
Right.
So there's a lovely woman behind the desk. She greets you as you come in. Hi.
Yes, Sir Algrim's quarters.
Ah, yes. May I ask what business?
Personal.
Ah, okay.
Tell him.
I'll send someone up to let him know that you're on your way.
Okay.
One of the footmen rushes up the stairs at a respectable pace, and this is not full on thud, 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 thud up the stairs, but a very practiced speed walk.
I will start following him.
Pulls away from you pretty quickly,
That's
and you're given the room number, and you go in, and just as you reach the room, the footman is coming out of it, and it says, yes, Sir Olgrim is waiting for you.
Thank you. And I will go in.
Right. Again, it's a very fancy affair inside, multi-room suite. Sir Olgrim is in, we'll say you've generally seen him in some form of very bright mustard or muted mustard yellow, highly polished plate armor, as befits his rank of the champion of the House of Valand. And but now he's kind of in lounging bathrobe and pants and kind of a smoking jacket type affair. Also still kind of the same burnt mustard color, but much more comfortable.
Okay.
Fredrick. I was just told that you were coming up.
Yes. Is it safe here?
Ostensibly.
Okay. I have something to show you, and what I'm going to show you, you may not understand, or you may, I don't know. But have an open mind. And I will draw the sword out. I'll put it on the table, and I'll say, Rard, come out.
Here's in the room, just to the side of the sword, and it's kind of an amorphous mass that looks human, but is kind of dark with kind of dark wisps coming off of it, kind of similar to smoke. Moderately translucent, but kind of like a shadow is cast on a wall that isn't really there.
Okay. I will introduce Rard, and I'll say this is Sir Olgrim, the champion of the House of Valand, and my superior. Sir Olgrim, this is Rard, the sentient spirit of my sword.
Hello, Rard. Hello, Sir Olgrim.
Rard has some information for us.
I sense that the one who they call the Dervish King is not the Dervish King. He appears to be projecting not an illusion, but a facsimile of this ruler of the land. He does not have the memory of power that you remember from your last visit 30 years ago. How do you know that? You see, I can sense the minds of others to an extent. Such ideas that are close to the surface of the mind I can peer into with a degree of accuracy. Those who leave their thoughts most uncovered allow me to be able to see much more detail. But the level at which you were shocked by it was enough for me to be able to see. I must keep a better understanding of my thoughts then. It's as you say, the flash and circumstance and the raw power of the Dervish King was diminished significantly since the last time I saw him, which is unlikely And he turns to you, Fredrick, and says, "Unlikely indeed. The Dervish King is known to wield immense power. Some would say it was almost divine in nature, but I am not privy to how he gained it, although it is the birthright of the kings of the Eastern Kingdom. That was not here, nor was how he appeared back then. So I can only assume that Rard, I believe you said it was, is correct in assuming that it is not, in fact, Ariok, the Dervish King. Which makes the idea of deposing him all the more palatable. Because if he is not really the Dervish King, then it really isn't a coup, now is it?
With that, I would just kind of look at Solgrim and just, was that the plan all along?
Oh, no. We were here to help restore order, to root out Steronicus. But didn't. That it all responded well to my purpose here. He did not seem to pick up on any of the signal words that I was dropping. Then he must have either fallen to Seronicus, or this was an entirely different venture. But now knowing that he is not actually the king, well, we are here to ensure that the throne of King Ariok remains within Ariok's power. And if he's not Ariok, then he is a usurper. And usurpers are hung and left to rot.
Where do we start?
I will keep up the front of playing nice with the rest of these individuals. I would suggest that you and your cadre disappear. The less I know of your activities, the better. We are playing an extremely dangerous game now.
Do you have a general idea of what you would like us to do?
I would like you to find the Dervish King himself. Because if he is still alive, that changes everything. We can use him as an example to prove that this individual is in fact an imposter. I would prefer to make any move with the Dervish King at my side rather than unknown, because who knows what they could do to him.
Okay.
So I guess the first order of business was to determine if he is actually still alive.
Okay. Okay.
And if he is, of course, you know, rescue him. This reminds me of the times when we would discuss all the old stories of raids. Back when you were still learning how to be both a politician and a member of the gentry.
Now, if he is not alive, what direction should we move? Should we raise dissent? Or should we just open coup?
I would say that our position is not strong enough yet. If anything, we have two at best. One council member, Fairfax, I believe you mentioned his name as being my retinue, and there should be about 30 people to take over this immense city. You saw the guards. If they believe they are defending the Dervish King, probably hundreds, if not thousands more, will descend upon us, and we would die without having achieved anything but a very bold sentence in the middle of a history book, if there are any left by the time whatever Seronicus is doing is done.
I do have two potential contacts that could aid us even further. but their business is rather unbecoming of gentlemen of our standard.
Now that's just a bit of prejudice. You don't think a politician or the gentry would use alternative means to an end?
No, I know they would, but not openly. So the alliance with them would have to be a very closed deal.
Of course. I mean, we are talking about sea on land much different than our own. This is not something we can do openly yet.
All right. I will get to work on what I can. And with that, I'll take the sword, sheath it, bid him good day, and if he needs me, send word for me, and we will communicate in a way that we can.
Understood. Good evening.
Perhaps we should write in the out of character question. Would I know if Sir Algrim spoke Elvish?
You might remember. I don't know if I wrote that down, actually.
I know he speaks Dwarven because he's a dwarf, and he speaks Common.
Let me look it up real quick to see if I actually thought of that detail. Eh? It would he would ostensibly be able to speak Elvish because Imendril is a predominantly Elven-controlled city.
Okay. Then I will tell him that if he needs to speak with me, send for me in Dwarvish. If he has a job for me, send for me in Elvish.
Okay, I will.
All right. And I will leave with that.
Okay, I'm assuming you're going to make your way back to the hotel?
Yes. Well, no. I'm going to go back to see Mr. Holsborn.
Okay. You make your way to the location that Zulthar showed you before, and you knock on the door. Door kind of opens just a little bit. Kind of nervous-looking gentleman looks out. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to see the gentleman of the house.
This is in the house.
Fine. I will say it plainly for you. I'm here to see Holsborn.
Ah, okay. Mr. Bourne is in. He opens the door farther, gestures inside.
Well, okay. Point of order. Is his name Holds space Born or Holsborn?
First name Holes, last name Bourne.
Okay, because I've been thinking that his you know how Thaddeus Sweet Tea. I thought his actual first name was Holsborn.
No, his first name is Holes.
Okay, thank you.
That's very unfortunate.
Oh, that was a randomly generated name. It's like, this is perfect. I need to find something. Let's make him a Jamaican or a Creole gentleman. This is perfect. He ushers you into the back room. There's only two large rooms that you can see, at least in this part of the building, except for the part where in the back room that led all the way out. You see him still in that very nice kind of plum jacket that may or may not be his trademark outfit. Good evening, Sir Fredrick.
Please, just Fredrick. We're friends.
All right, you may call me Holes then.
Okay, Holes. I have a request / job, I believe.
Hmm?
What do you know about the potential for there being an imposter on the throne?
Well, that's the first I heard of it, but it does make a bit of sense.
Okay. then I need to employ your men. Doesn't have to be all of them. It can be whoever you can spare. I need to find out anything and everything about a possible location to where the actual Dervish King might be, or anything of that manner. Anyone saying anything about the Dervish King not being correct or anything like that. Because we believe that there is an imposter on the throne. Before we can move in that direction,
Move in what direction?
that'll be discussed later, because I do have other potential offerings for you that could turn out quite beneficial for you.
Go on.
If we can find the real Dervish King and he is alive, your assistance would be greatly needed, and we could perhaps make you a more legitimate businessman than you already are. And if he is not alive and we have to step in to do something about it, if you and your men were to assist us, that could land you a very nice title and land, more than you already have.
This does sound appealing. I will put out feelers to see if there's any rumors going around. Although I do believe that the already arranging with Miss Jackson may reveal more to you about this subject than anything I'd be able to drum up beyond.
I would appreciate it as my friend that you keep an earnest ear open.
Oh, I intend to. An abdication of the throne or anything dealing with the official power structure of a city impacts business surprisingly well. This could be quite damaging to my interests, so I will indeed keep an ear out.
And when is my meeting with Miss Jackson supposed to take place?
Either tonight or tomorrow night.
Okay, all right. And one last point of order. What languages do you speak, sir?
He kind of thinks. What languages do you speak?
Well, I speak Dwarven and Elvish and Common.
Which one of those would you like to communicate in?
Well, if you have a job for me, Elven. If you need to meet with me, Dwarvish.
All right.
Right. And have you spoken to Mr. Sweet Tea recently?
Thaddeus and I have not spoken since our last meeting.
Okay. I'm going to be, just for openness between parties, I'm going to be making him a similar offer for his assistance.
Understandable.
Obviously, it would be, it would not be encroaching upon your territories here, but in our homeland, he would be rewarded there.
Thaddeus and I have reached an understanding, and he would understand as well that this would affect business significantly. I'm sure you would get his full support, or close to it.
I'm having my hour break.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'll thank him for his time. Depart, and I have no idea where Sweet Tea is.
You could ask Holes.
Yeah. Just pop my head back in real quick. Where is Thaddeus, Sweet Tea?
He would be, and he gives you a rough street address. Do stop by for a drink sometime, especially if this all calms down.
I will. I would like to go meet up with Thaddeus, Sweet Tea, and just for the sake of brevity, I'm going to tell him the same things that I told Holes. Same stuff like that. Ask him for the same, favors, and same details about meeting up being in Dwarvish, jobs being in Elven.
Well, that does seem to be a bit of a snaggle. I'll do what I can. I'll keep any of my contacts open, although I do believe that Holes would probably be a bit more connected here.
Yes, I
I'm
spoke
just
to Mr. Holes, and I just extending the same courtesy to you.
understandable. If it comes to, he kind of visibly thinks for the right word. It's not like open violence in the streets. If it comes to an unpleasant outcome, you'll have me and my boys behind you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And Trent, just for, I don't know if you could tell me or if I might know this, roughly how many guys would the two of them have together?
You would not know.
Okay. Could I, being an educated noble, could I make an estimated guess?
You may.
What would it be if I were to guess? You want me to make an
Holes-
intelligence check or?
Yeah, let's make an intelligence check.
Okay. +0. 17. Fuck yes.
You know that and holes are, dude, they're pretty much kind of concerns,
I'm sorry,
or
say again.
they're probably underneath the concept of robber barons. They're very well equipped, and they would have a decent sized force to enforce any of their deals, and also be able to move equipment back and forth quite easily.
So I could say like maybe 100 each, or
Thaddeus might have at least 30 because of him being in a foreign place. He's probably anyway
lighter.
between 30 and 100, and it might be significantly more for Holes because this is his home turf, or at least where he is mostly businessed out of.
Okay.
It all depends on what you intend to do. Open street fighting might not be their strong suit, but they're no strangers to street wars in and of themselves.
Street war, open war in the streets is last resort. Dervish King is dead. We have to step in. Okay. Oh fuck! I just thought of something I should have asked Fairfax's son when we were meeting with him. Another time. Yeah, I will head back to the hotel, and it's, I guess, nighttime.
Yeah, you've been doing this. It's edging in on 9 o'clock.
Yeah, just go to sleep.
You sleep pretty peacefully.
Oh, does that mean we can use our hit dice to heal ourselves?
With a long
Yeah.
rest, bud.
It's a long rest. You can just heal up all the way.
Oh, I can just top up. Yay.
Yeah, get those 2 bludgeoning damage. Yay.
Yeah.
However, did you get that?
I'll stub my toe.
I was going to heal you, but then I realized you might be insulted, and B, it's only 2.
Yeah.
He takes 75 points of damage, and that 2 hit points could have saved his life.
It's. What are you talking about? My hit points are up to 90.
Damn.
How?
Nice.
That's a D12 for barbarian. Excuse me.
Plus, he's probably got good constitution.
Yeah, I'm at a 17 constitution, so +3.
Damn.
That sounds like fun.
Just wait till you get up to 18.
Can't wait to level up. I could get my dex and constitution both go up 1. My modifiers.
That is going to be awesome for your AC.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back.
He just got back, but I gotta run and pee real quick. Sorry.
I suggest running and then peeing, not running and peeing.
Running then peeing, not running while peeing.
And don't pee first, then run either. That doesn't help either. There's only one order that works.
All right, so to catch Ralph up, Stephen or Fredrick went to both Holsborn and Thaddeus Sweet Tea and arranged for the various, let's call them what they are, crime bosses to be able to support any actions that might need to be taken. You also completed the last ring.
Oh, the ring, cool. Sweet.
And Tread's new nickname is the Stray King.
The streaking?
Stray. I mean,
Streaking.
technically, he's always streaking. Well, not here.
Yeah, I always thought you were in traveling robes at least.
Furs, mostly.
Doesn't that kind of clash?
Yeah, you had to kill animals to get furs.
No, they served a purpose. It's not like it wasn't an unnecessary animal death.
Roadkill.
Yeah, I ate them, and then I
Yeah.
took their skin for it.
It wasn't like you
Did
killed
you
them
talk
just
to
for
them
fun.
while you killed them?
What's that?
I said, did you talk to them while you killed them?
Maybe.
They're there now. Your death is serving a purpose.
Oh
Go to sleep.
man.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Look at the flowers. Oh man, that got dark.
Quick, look over there.
No, it would take time for me to talk to them. I don't have time. I'm just.
So sorry.
So we just found out that Tread Scala talks to his prey before he kills it and then takes their furs.
Wait a minute.
I made up the talking part. That was just a joke. But he wears the furs of his normal outfit is furs, which are of animals that he ate.
All right, this brings up an interesting question.
That's
Are there any
reasonable,
is there any like goblin skin or human skin in these furs as well? 'Cause
They're
it
not
seems-
high enough quality. They don't last.
Well, not if you don't tan them.
I'd like to ask why you know that, but I think I know.
just a lizard man in human skin.
Oh dear.
Believe me, it wasn't for a lack of trying.
So this is the magic of D&D.
They're just too thin skin, man.
Oh yeah. That's right.
It's
You
like,
said they were soft skin.
it's like
Yeah.
a bandana.
I'm just picturing him in a full human suit now.
Root with the tail. Anyway,
This got
Um,
weird really quick.
welcome to D&D. Anyway, so the night passes, and y'all get a good night's sleep. Wake up. What do you do?
I would like to go have breakfast.
Oh, fantastic idea.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
go for breakfast.
Tastical.
What are you
I'm
doing?
Go for breakfast.
Oh, never mind. I thought that was Brock's. Brock rolling was like, no. Oh, okay. What did you summon this time?
Badger, Panther, and Direwolf.
So, as you sit at the breakfast table, a panther on Tread's lap, a direwolf on his right hand side, and a badger on his head.
I'm sorry, the panther is on his lap.
It's just the head part of him.
Okay.
he's put his head in his lap.
He tried to sit in my lap, but I was trying to eat, so
Might have bit him just a little bit.
I gave him a warning, Nib.
So you're definitely drawing looks at the full plate man, the lizard folk with his menagerie of animals, the extremely
Well-
pale skinned individual.
Okay, wait. They don't know I'm in full plate. I'm covered. I have
Oh,
that
sorry.
robe thing. Cover me up. It's just
Well,
a
do
man in
you
a
reach
robe.
out? Do you reach out to? Are you having? Do you have gauntlets on your hands as you eat, or
I
what?
do not have gauntlets on my hand.
The
We talked
weirdly
about
bulky
this, like-
guy, then.
Yeah, weirdly bulky. We talked about this like 2 sessions ago. When I got
The
the
weird-
tattoos.
The weirdly broad-shouldered man.
He looks
Yeah.
like a football player who just put on a T-shirt over their uniform.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was
Kinda.
actually thinking of those giant, the warming capes that they
Oh
have for
yeah,
them.
that also works. That's even better, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something along that lines.
Okay, so the weirdly bulky man, he probably had, despite the fact that he's human and seemingly highborn, he's obviously has some defects in him. Sure. In the form of extremely broad shoulders and this disproportionately small head compared to the rest of him.
No helmet.
But he does have a turban on, so that makes it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Next to the extremely tall human with dark hair and who's extremely charismatic. So yeah, then your odd couple eating. The wait staff is a little wary when they come to give you food, but yeah, it goes good. As you are eating, a young teenager of familiar gait looks toward where you are. Comes and sits on the back of the direwolf, and the direwolf doesn't seem to care.
Zothar, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
What can you? What news do you have for us?
I just heard you talking to Holesborn and Thaddy Sweet Tea last night.
Yes,
What for?
my business is with them. If you must know, you may speak with them.
Well, my business is also with them. Would your business infect mine?
I do not believe so.
Well, come by my place of business and we can discuss it.
Mm.
After you're eating, of course.
Well, yes, because dinner is the most important meal of the day.
Breakfast?
I mean, breakfast. Yep, that's the word I'm looking for. Breakfast.
I was thinking, is there like some
What are you,
strange southern thing?
nocturnal?
I like dinner too. It's not a problem.
Okay. He just kind of sits there waiting for you to finish.
Oh,
And
you,
he's not.
you wanted to go right now?
No, he's not. He's also sitting kind of side saddle on the back of the direwolf, and he's not like straddling it. I can wait.
Okay. I'll finish up and we'll go to his job, to his place of business. I will not hurry though. I will take my time.
I can just picture him just awkwardly staring at us while we try to eat.
He's also kind of doing the swinging his legs while he's on the back of the direwolf and kind of scratching it under the chin every so often. He also doesn't seem to blink during this entire time.
Neither does Tread.
We're not clear about what race Zolthar is, are we? Or are we?
Well, you could find out.
What am I supposed to do? Ask him? That would be ridiculous.
So you finish your breakfast. This is very good. Lots of savory meats and eggs and other carby things.
It's hard.
Yes. It pretty much it's kind of like more of an English style breakfast. Because that's kind of where they feed you food that they expect you to actually like to eat, unless you request otherwise. So yes, they profile you.
That's fair.
So you get up and follow Zulthar to an out of the way building. It's sparsely furnished. By sparsely, I mean there is one table, roughly the size of air in one of the back rooms, and maybe a couple of boxes. And he sits down in the chair and picks up a book that's on the table.
Okay. Zolthar, what can we do for you?
Oh, what can I do for you?
I don't know. It would really depend. Do you have any men that you control?
Not particularly.
What can you do for what could you do to assist us?
Quite a lot, depending on what it is. As you're saying this, you hear the door that you came in open and kind of close rather roughly.
I will hand on the hilt, turn and quick look.
A man's coming in. He's kind of in filthy rags, but you can tell underneath it is a pretty nice outfit. Like it's just a covering comes in. This is kids here. Oh, fantastic. Listen, I know you think you're a big player. I know you hobnob with holes born. I know you think you're some hot crap. I don't really appreciate you trying to move in on any territory. I don't think you really know what you're getting into. Maybe you should, go back to school, learn a trade, something, because you're definitely not cut out for this line of work. Now, I'm assuming Yoan's with you, and Lundgren, and all of you.
I would think so, but that's their choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done in the rings, so I would have gone.
I was thinking about it. I mean, I wouldn't have anything else to do but eat. Well, okay. And make perfume.
And just who the hell are you?
As he says that, you feel like the temperature just absolutely changes in the room.
Up or down?
For those of you who are more magically inclined, it feels like all of a sudden you're standing in front of a hot oven, but instead of in front of it, you're inside of it. And for those of you who are more magically inclined,
I see.
it feels just this absolutely raw force. And even to the most magically blind individual, who I believe is Fredrick,
Yeah,
you just feel
definitely.
this heavily, you can feel it. And then within a second, it switches to absolutely freezing in the room. You see what was once the laid back position of Zulthar stiffen as he gets up out of the chair and he says, "Listen, mortal. I do business where I like. I do what I like. And I do it where I like." Now you see the man who came in is suddenly a little bit taller than he was before, And you notice that he's actually standing on tiptoe, like he's being lifted up by his lapels, but you don't see anything. Now, are you going to cause me trouble? Or am I going to cause you trouble? You see, the guy doesn't really understand what's going on. It's like he's expecting the kid's voice, not Zulthar's real voice. Come on, speak up. Trouble for you then. Man flies into the back of the room and just absolutely splatters in a burst of flame, and he's gone.
Secretly to myself, so that nobody else can maybe hear me except the party. Seems like it could possibly be a fiend or some kind of a demonic character.
You do. If this were 3.5, you might pass out right now, but it's just like standing in front of absolute rolling sense of fiend coming from Zulthar.
So it's the heat equivalent of a forest fire then.
Not necessarily that. Think you've lit a fire and you've put your head in the smoke and you just can't escape the smoke.
Oh, wow.
He sits down. Sorry about that.
What are you?
Me?
No, the other person. Yes, you.
I like your sassiness. I am Zulthar, regent
I know your name.
of the Sixth Hell.
Oh, that. Okay. Okay.
So that's what you wanted to know?
Is this a magical effect I could dispel?
Probably
No,
not.
I'm pretty sure the magical effect, because he's a powerful hellish fiend, would be just because he's him.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Based on the fact that he just blew some kid or blew some fully grown man to smithereens right in front of us.
Technically, it was not to smithereens, as if he hit the wall, sunk into it, and instead of splattering, turned into little bursts of flame and dissipated. There's kind of a spread eagle burn mark on the wall now.
Okay, so some smoky ash. Oof. All right. So, as such, I'm reasonably sure the answer is no. There will be no dispelling of whatever this is.
No, I don't think it's magical.
You might be wondering why I have taken such this form that you see. No? Well,
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we
okay.
have. We are curious about that, but
I had my suppositions.
and what were your suppositions, Lundgren Bask?
Oh, that some people who would see your form on the outside would grow to underestimate or ignore you. You could use it to your advantage when the time came.
If it was only so banal. No, I am actually trapped in this body. You see, I forget this child's name. His corpse was open, and for whatever reason, I decided to, take it for a spin. And then I got sealed in it, and I cannot get out. It's quite frustrating. It's a bit fun to mess with people, though, but still frustrating.
So have you been this way for a long time?
Quite, depending on your definition of long.
More than 50 years?
No, not that long.
Okay.
Couple.
Okay.
kid was almost to his teenage years. The body still strangely grows. It's very strange.
Is the boy dead?
Oh yes, he's very dead. How else would I get into his body?
I would
So,
imagine similarly to how a ghost does it.
if he said he was sealed in it, that would mean somebody sealed him in it.
Cyrenicus.
And so he may or may not, depending on how he thinks of it, but I'm thinking may be willing or able to maybe want to get out of it to get to the body he would normally be in.
Are you having this conversation out loud with him just sitting there?
No, that would be silly.
A minute though.
That's why I've learned to, how should I say, specifically say what I'm out into whom to avoid potential embarrassment or other folks hearing me. Why didn't?
So, back to business.
Let's speak plainly. What do you need of me, and what can I do for you?
Well, I know for a fact that you're after Cyrenicus.
Yes.
I, for a fact, absolutely loathe his stinking guts.
Tell me more about him. How do you know him?
He and his cadre approached me after establishing many outposts throughout the various towns. He came to the oasis one day. He gave me his spiel, whatever you want to call it, and the idea that it's planted in all of their heads about how the gods and blah, 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 equality, blah, blah, blah. And it's not how it works in the 6 hells. Sorry, the 9 hells. I only remember my own. There's order, and through that order there is strength. What he was talking was about the abolition of all order to a much more flatter chaos than even the most demonic despot would be able to achieve. It's against all natural orders, every single one. So I want you to remove the cancer that is Cyrenicus's group.
Okay. That's something that we're already working on, so we could...
1 million gold pieces.
Slots and floppies.
What can you give us in turn?
Power over the 5th hell.
That is not my area of control. I only do the 6th one.
Power over
So
the
if-
6th hell, then.
I cannot give you my job. I could, however, put you somewhere in what would be you can consider middle management. Although you'd have to live in the 6th hell, which I do not think. Well, you, Mr. Fire Barbarian, you might actually enjoy. It's quite burning down there.
What kind of fiend were you originally?
DM note: I have no idea. I'm pretty sure he is an archfiend, though.
Oh, so he
Or higher.
he knows what's up.
He's
Okay.
think fallen archangel.
I mean,
Oh,
if
wow.
he's in charge of a level of hell, he's like god tier. Like,
Now I see why he's upset about being stuck in a little kid body.
like freaking Asmodeus or something. Like something crazy.
Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tiamat.
This
Well,
is crazy.
There was,
This is crazy.
they were like guardians or something of hell. They like a triangle and a freaking box, and I forget what the hell they were called.
Okay,
Triangle and
so
box.
based on what's what, we can say that he knows what the heck he's doing, knows what the heck he wants, and he's extraordinarily powerful.
Yeah, and if we don't do what he wants, he's probably going to kill us.
No.
Yeah, well, depending on what's what, he's probably one of the few who we've met so far who could actually do that. So there's that.
If the rolls held good, those skeletons probably could have ended you all.
That was when we were what, level 2?
Yeah. 2 or 3.
We got
Going
a
through that
little.
god-awful dungeon. That was so long.
Good times.
We got into a bit of a scrape there.
Dungeon.
Zothar,
Yes.
I'll make you a deal.
What kind?
You want us to get rid of Veronicus.
Yes. Technically, I want you to just head on a pike.
It's
Like a large baby rattle.
that's doable. Still
God.
very,
I love that he just said that.
still very doable. I'll tell
And
you
he
what.
did make that rattling motion as well.
There are two possibilities. First, he's quietly disposed. Second, very open war. If the second should come about, we will need an army. Could you supply us with an army?
Depends on what you mean by an army. If you mean more than about 20 people, then no.
Oh man,
But I could possibly summon some fiends.
That would work.
That would help.
That would
That
be
would help.
awesome.
A combination of the two.
I see what I can do. Obviously, my powers, and he indicates the man splat on the wall. My powers are quite powerful.
Your
Powerly.
powerfuls are
powers.
quite powerful.
My powers are quite powerful. But they are not as
Indeed.
powerful as if I were in my true form in the sixth hell. There are certain rules and guidelines that have to be followed. You know, it's like they're a bunch of accountants. You see in his eyes. You see, like, if he had a soul, they kind of die at the thought of accounting, just a little bit. But I'm much tougher than your average, and he indicates Treadskull, bear, whatever this thing is.
He's a
No offense.
he's a lizard folk indeed.
Some of my furs belong to bears.
It's probably why I got the mix up. It was barely conjecture.
Ha!
oh, what the?
Lulz.
How did I meet you people?
You answered a random call on the internet.
Okay, so
We,
this elemental, like hell guy, is going to summon a bunch of other elementals to fight in the war. Okay, yeah, all right.
If we need it, I'm assuming, yeah.
I
He's
don't
at
know.
least willing to.
Devils, technically, right?
I believe
Technically, fiends and devils, I think, are rather similar. Daemons are much more chaotic.
Yeah.
So fiends and devils are kind of like
Fiends is
the
like
lawyers.
all-encompassing term for like devils and demons, I think. And then devils are the organized ones, and demons are the crazy.
like fiend. Fiend is the category. Devil, demon, subcategories.
Yeah,
Okay. So whatever one is like the lawyers.
devil.
Devils are usually lawful evil, and demons are almost always chaotic evil.
Okay.
All right.
It's like the difference between abyssal and infernal.
It's always so confusing, though.
Or East
Well,
Coast or West Coast?
Ugh.
But yeah. Okay. Hmm. Well,
Either way, they want your soul.
you
Oh
probably
dear.
speak multiple languages, but if you need us to meet up, don't just show up at the hotel. Send a message in Dwarvish. If you have a job for us, send it in Elvish. If you can't speak those languages, I don't know what to tell you. You should know these.
I suggest not patronizing me.
Yeah, that really seems like a bad idea.
Well, see, the thing is, like,
Pointing at the smear on the wall.
we're business partners now, and that's just very rude.
I'm kidding. Have some sense of humor. The hell's a much more. Good lord, man. Ugh.
What is humor?
It's okay,
That's when you
Treadwell,
make a
explain it
joke and try to lighten the mood.
He almost tried to cook us like gingerbread men, dude. That's not.
We really got to talk to Tread about a lot of things
Oh, yeah.
because we keep telling him we talk about it later.
I'll tell you about it later, buddy.
Tell you when you're older.
God, how old would Trey be? I'll worry about that later.
Have to worry about. Am I running around as a teenage lizard man, or am I an old lizard man?
I mean, technically, I don't know how long they even live for.
I want to say it's 70 years, but that's also what orcs live, so it might be just my bias.
Yeah, he's probably a teenager. Anyway,
Now then.
So, you cause Saronicus to no longer live, and I assist you in various ways that I can. Mostly information and summoning things that kill things.
That'll
Viciously.
work for now until we
Alrighty.
need to adjust the parameters of our arrangement.
Yes. Well, I think our business is done.
There is one more bit, but we'll get to it later.
And what is that?
I will be writing up a contract between me and you. Binding, obviously.
there.
In blood.
What'd you say, Craig?
Devils and contracts. You probably just gave him a boner right there.
Listen, unless it's written out, there is no guarantee.
I need it in triplicate. I need the triplicates in triplicates.
Okay, so 9 copies, no problem.
Yes.
That's easy enough. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Now, he picks up the book and kind of puts his feet up on the table. I have some reading to do. Good day.
Do you?
Yes, I have few pleasures in life now. Reading is one of them. Unless you want to get me some books, I don't think we have anything else to do.
I'll turn to Lundgren. Hey, do you still have that law book?
I have the Book of Lombian Law. Yeah, sure.
Bet
I
he would
literally
love
did
it.
not think of that when I randomly pulled that out of my ass.
I bet he would love it.
Yeah,
Zolthar, do you read law books for fun?
I read books. It doesn't really matter. But that sounds
All right.
interesting.
I'll let you borrow this Book of Lombian Law I happen to have, which involves me hopping upstairs and coming back down, but making it look so it's not so crazy as I just described it, and bringing it back to where he is. Here you go.
Oh, this is obscure. I like obscure. Thank you.
Thought you would. You're welcome.
oh good, he's a hipster.
No comment.
Where I come from, that means yes.
I couldn't really think of a really good retort, though. I do suggest you have that conversation with Miss Johnson or Jackson. The J is good to me. With Miss Jackson, she has enough information for you.
I forgot we
I
got to
look
go
forward
find
to it.
her as well. Yeah.
No, she will find us.
Oh, she was supposed to find us. Okay.
Really, because I have, and he pulls out a slip of paper, this meeting location.
I was told she was going to find us, but okay, I'll take that.
Things work strangely in the Oasis. And he goes back, he starts reading the book, and he seems to really like it, and it actually truly ignores your presence.
All right, we'll be leaving then.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You leave the small teenage leader of the Sixth Hell.
Teenagers would rule hell.
Oh dear.
Yeah. He looks to be like 13.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's even worse, ain't it?
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, the
What are you doing in your
dire-
free time? We don't ask.
Oh God.
Oh dear. All right, I want to make a roll to make some more perfume here real quick. I mean, not like at the table or anything, because that would be weird. Oh God.
You barely know what perfume is, and you get some brown water that might be something. It kind of looks like tea. It doesn't really smell like anything, and it just kind of looks like you scraped some dust off of the inside of your bag and put it in water to see what it would do. And so you have brown water.
I'll put
Vial
that
of
in my. I'll put that in my inventory. It might come in useful later.
You never know.
Vial of
Water.
If I were playing my other character, I would try to sell it to somebody as a potion.
I like your other character.
Oh.
He is a lot of fun. He's the one that just died last week.
Oh yeah.
what other character is that?
You know what? That makes a lot more sense now. Anyway, is there anything else you guys are doing besides making brown water?
I would say if there's nothing else, like just head back and
I'm sorry,
wait
that tickled
for
me.
the meeting location and time, or whatever else would happen. You know.
Okay, so day-to-day routine goes
Yeah.
on. Eric, Alan, and Richard go about their business, come back, report stuff they find. Not much has changed. Nightfall comes, and you go to the meeting place in a back alley somewhere where the moonlight is full on in it, and the alleyways are cast into shadow. And there you wait. Couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You hear rustling as someone moves down one of the alleyways amongst the various refuse put there. And emerges kind of tall figure. Not tall, like somewhere between Brock and Fredrick. Yes,
Hey, Miss Jackson.
I am he.
He?
Yes.
No, it was not a Miss Jackson. It's Amos Jackson.
No, it's Miss Jackson.
Now I'm confused. Somebody's gonna have to do some explaining.
Will it?
Tread
It's a
just seems
pseudonym.
unfazed.
Good.
Think of you seem confused.
Yes.
Think of it. What better for one of the best assassins than to be thought of as a woman when he isn't one?
Okay. I get that.
Fredrick is minorly uncomfortable.
Don't
No.
worry, I prefer women. I'm not. It's just professional.
Fredrick has definitely heard that statement before. It's just professional.
Probably in a brothel.
No. When
It
is
is a
a noble, they come to him.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a cover name. It's what I
Real name, if we're going to be working together.
can give you my secrets. No,
Okay.
you can call me Jackson if you wish,
Oh my god.
but
Sorry, sir. Did you just say lish or wish?
if you wish,
Okay, making sure you didn't have some kind of weird lisp. I was about to say, oh god, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
no. Apparently, I have a weird lisp tonight.
So, we've been told you have
Mhm.
information for us.
I do.
Okay.
What information do you have already, so I don't have to repeat myself?
The Dervish King is not the Dervish King,
Fantastic.
and Saronicus is behind it.
Also fantastic.
Saronicus is behind the assassination of Councilman Daruna.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. Well, you're right on all accounts. Saronikus is the major pain in my anus. And, yeah. Okay. So the Dervish King, to my knowledge, is still alive. I'm sure you want to know that.
Mm-hmm.
He is kept in a location that I do not know. What I
Good night.
do know is that he is in an old temple somewhere in the desert.
Great.
Other than that, it's making my job a lot harder to do because, Dervish King kind of my employer, and my competition is working real close with whoever's they have sitting on the throne. Well, I think it's a shapeshifter. I'm not too sure about that. Either that, they found a fantastic body double.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Not that you can think of. Do you know anything else about the temple? Rough general location, direction,
Somewhere east of here.
east of here.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many men Saronicus has in the city?
A couple thousand. I don't know. He seems to be everywhere these days. Fingers in every single pie.
My strings have arrived.
The dog. He also has fingers in every single dog, so to speak, as well.
Bastard.
That sounds so bad.
Well, are we talking like a one knuckler or a two knuckler kind of thing?
This is more like he feeds the dogs.
Is
Oh,
Saronicus in the city himself?
Don't know, but he seems to entrench his ideas in several locations, leaving his lieutenants in charge, and goes on to colonize, and he puts it in quotes, the next place, never staying long enough for people like me to be able to get at him.
All right. Who are his lieutenants in the city?
Well, I probably should tell you, but I won't. So here's a piece of paper that has their names on it. Good day. And he just kind of shuffles rather awkwardly back into the alley in the most Groucho Marx style you can imagine.
Okay. That was interesting.
What language is that list written in, and can you read it?
It's written in common.
Okay,
And I'll have
never
to
mind.
find several names to put on it
Never
in future
mind.
parts. So
Put you on the spot.
The
put you
DM's on the spot.
And you find one name. The first on the list is a man by the name of Kishwa.
Dishwater. Okay.
Kishwa, not
Why-
Kishwa.
Oh, I heard you. I said,
This is just to get back at me for having you talk to a dude who calls himself Miss Jackson, isn't
it threw me off.
it?
Because I immediately I thought what Ty said. I was like, oh, Amos Jackson. Okay, cool. All right. So we got
Yeah,
Tishwa.
Kishwa. K.
Tishwa.
K. Kishwa.
Kishwa. Okay. How many lieutenants does he have? Let's set a number.
There's 7 within the Oasis because it's quite a large city. There appears to be 6 in Giva, 4 in Healat,
Oh, I do have knock.
and I don't think I have another town in Ultan. There's a small fishing village or much smaller location down in the southwest, but north of Giva. Oh, Sula. There's also 3 in Sula, despite the fact that it is a large city.
Okay. I will be getting with you later about probably later about getting all that information.
I hope I remember, to be honest.
looks like we know who to take to that magical door that
Yeah.
Brock got his axe stuck into.
Or, we could use him to unlock the magical book that you've been carrying around for a month.
Ha!
Oh, that lore book?
No, the one that we couldn't get unlocked.
Which one was that? Hang on.
I might have it actually in the bag.
Let me see. Backpack, scythe, the beads of force. Oh. Yeah.
Special book. I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a special book that we found on the underground. It was magically locked and we couldn't get it unlocked.
Oh, that was right. We found it in the catacomb, the same one that we found the really old book, and we were like casting magic at it and trying to kick it and stab it with stuff. And I remember that now. Okay.
Everything.
Yep. I remember that's your favorite tool.
It's useful for everything.
I know it is.
It gives you an automatic advantage on strength checks. Okay, so I will have Yoan unlock the book using knock.
Oh, I don't know if it'll work on a book, will it?
It's magically locked, so knock.
Well, I don't have it memorized, so I'd have to rest for 4 hours?
Oh, right, because he's an elf. That's right.
For
Do that meditation thing.
Now I gotta dig back into my mind and remember what I had that book for.
Well, you could do it next session.
No, I probably wouldn't. I remember what it is.
Okay, so we'll say 4 hours have passed. He has knock. He unlocks the book. What is the book?
It's a
The book
portal to hell.
It's what?
Wait, I actually think I have this thing written down somewhere.
You're pulled into the 6th layer of hell. Hey, what do you know?
Hey, Joe, what do you know?
I'm really cool, Zulthar.
Call 555 Zulthar. That's ZLTHR for the phones. Okay, it is written in Infernal and Draconic. It appears to be a book detailing how one individual within the Lumbian civilization was documenting the descent of them into cannibalism underneath the dark god Abster, and how how various factions came in to war against both of them, including the Order of the Southern Cross and the Order of the Northern Cross.
So,
Interesting.
would I know if Zulthar speaks in Infernal?
Make an intelligence check.
Actually, if this is all written, keep going.
Wait, it's written. Never mind.
I'm-
Hey,
If it's written, I'll read it.
Yeah.
I'll read it right now.
You find literally the exact same information I just told.
Excellent.
Well, no, I didn't know if there was more to it or anything like that. You just giving us a synopsis because we
It's a
don't speak
synopsis.
Draconic or Infernal.
I'm assuming you gave it to somebody who could actually read it. It is a synopsis of these things. It's rather detailed. This goes between being an official journal and a private journal. Between the guy that you found stuffed into that altar and took his bag of holding.
Fair is fair. He's dead. He didn't need it.
True.
If it's a journal, maybe it has information on what he had in the bag.
Ooh,
It
hey.
was the only thing in the bag.
Damn it.
Oh, that's too bad. The
It
poor
was
man.
a good idea, though.
Yep,
Would you get
sure.
a itemized inventory for him, please?
5 pocket lint, 3 gold coins.
Three gold coins. I'll take those.
So you now have 3 extra gold coins.
Fuck yeah.
Pocket lint. I won't knock it. It may come in handy for somebody, I guess. Eh?
You have 1 crystallized ogre booger.
I don't need that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
That's going to come in handy if no one writes that down. I am.
Do you take the crystallized ogre booger,
If
Tretzko?
no one's taking it, I'm taking it.
I'm not touching it.
I'm going to find a use for that shit.
It's boogers, not that.
What the fuck, man?
This has gotten weirder and weirder, of course.
Well, it's probably because I'm tired. So
Yeah, it's
with this climactic ending and apparently descend into wacky sacks, we will catch you all next time, internet willing, next week. And cool music plays as the lights go down.